This Hollywood heartthrob might be best known for his role as Leonard McCoy in the most recent Star Trek films. But Karl Urban has proved he can also play the role of a bad boy to perfection.
Well, that's just typical.
In his most recent role as Billy Butcher in the Amazon original series called The Boys, Urban leads a gang of vigilantes who join forces to combat the world's most corrupt superheroes. But what else is there to know about this leading man from New Zealand? And does he really have a reputation of physically harming other actors while on set? You'll find out in this video. The top 10 things you didn't know about Karl Urban. Number 10. He's a big sports fan. Having been born and raised in New Zealand, Urban naturally took a liking to fishing and surfing. But he's also a huge fan of rugby, with his favorite team being, of course, the New Zealand Rugby Union, or the All Blacks as they are more commonly called. It has been reported that in 2011, he even planned to work his schedule around the Rugby World Cup games, which were being hosted in his home country of New Zealand that year. Number 9. His first acting job was at the age of 8 years old. As a child, Urban landed a role with a single line in the New Zealand television series Pioneer Woman. His first major television credit would come in 1990 on the series Shark in the Park as Ronan Murdoch. But it was 2002's horror flick Ghost Ship that would jumpstart Urban's Hollywood career. Since then, he has gone on to star in such films as Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Riddick, Doom, and Thor Ragnarok. That's a long way to go from his days on Xena, Warrior Princess. Number 8. He is following in his mother's footsteps. Karl Urban's mother may have influenced Urban to pursue his career path at an early age, being that she worked for film facilities in Wellington, New Zealand. When speaking on his passion for acting, Urban was quoted saying, "It was always something I knew I was capable of, and from an early age my mother was involved in the film industry. She used to work at a production company, so I was exposed to a renaissance period of films in New Zealand back in the early 80s. If his father had it his way, Karl would have followed him into the leather goods manufacturing business." Number 7. He lives in Auckland, New Zealand. After attending Wellington College and Victoria University of Wellington, Urban moved to Auckland, the country's largest city with a population of around 1.5 million people. This beautiful city in the North Island of New Zealand has much to offer the Kiwi actor, from the iconic Sky Tower to the Viaduct Harbor, full of bars, restaurants, and plenty of mega yachts. There's also a handful of beautiful beaches for Karl to get his surfing in. Number 6. He has a cameo in a Star Wars film. In July 2020, Karl revealed that he had a secret cameo role in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker as a stormtrooper alongside Kylo Ren. Apparently, he happened to visit director J.J. Abrams on set of the film, and he says, "While I was there, he put me in a stormtrooper uniform, and we had a really fun day on set." The force is strong with this one. Number 5. He's not related to Keith Urban. Despite sharing the same last name and both being born in New Zealand, Karl and Keith Urban are not related, contrary to what current gossip might say. Number 4. He named a son after a movie character. Karl Urban is such a big fan of Steven Spielberg-directed Indiana Jones films that he went so far as to name his second child Indiana after the title character in the films. They even call him Indy for short, much like Harrison Ford's character was referred to in the films. Number 3. He's loaded. Not only is Urban making money in films, but he's also in real estate. It was reported that after his divorce in 2014, Urban sold his home in the Herne Bay area of Auckland for a healthy $6.65 million. And that's just 2 years after buying it for $5.25 million, which amounts to a $1.4 million profit. Although Urban may like to spend money on his beautiful homes and wonderful cars, such as his Aston Martin Vantage GT4, he still finds time to act as a celebrity ambassador for Kids Can charity, which supports disadvantaged children in New Zealand. One reason he may be able to give back so much is because he's worth a whopping $20 million. That's a big slice of the Kiwi pie. Number 2. He was devastated by the loss of a coworker. On June 19, 2016, at the age of 27, fellow actor Anton Yelchin died in a freak accident at home involving his Jeep Grand Cherokee. Urban spoke on the tragic loss of his fellow Star Trek actor and the difficulty to do press for Star Trek Beyond, just weeks after his death. We were obviously devastated at his loss, absolutely devastated. It was brutal. And to literally 4 weeks after we lost him, to go out there and promote Beyond was the toughest thing we ever had to do. Number 1. He has injured multiple actors while on set. Urban had a lot of apologizing to do after filming a scene with actor Paul Bettany for the movie Priest. The two actors were in a fight scene, taking place on the roof of a train, when he accidentally missed a choreographed stunt move and ended up stomping his boot down hard on Bettany's hand, causing the actor to scream out in pain. Whoops. If that's not enough, he also admitted to injuring another co-star. This time it was while filming the movie Red, where Urban plays a CIA agent, and he reportedly nicked the one and only Bruce Willis in the head with a coffee mug that he threw at him during a rigorous fight scene. The injury wasn't all that bad, but it did cause Willis to bleed. Urban later told reporters Bruce was fine, his makeup artist wasn't too happy about it. There you have it, the top 10 things you didn't know about Karl Urban. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and check out any of our other videos to learn more about your favorite stars.